Coming up on Mountain News this morning, officials with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife investigate a death at a lake here in our region. And one Kentucky man is facing charges after leading police on an unusual sort of chase.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Keaton Hall. Dakota Makris, he's off this morning. The time is just after 6:32. Let's throw it over to Brandon for a look at the weather.
Well, the weather, Keaton, is quiet this morning. Some fog out there, kind of widespread in spots, but not everybody's seeing it. As we head out the door this morning, we'll continue to see it in spots, probably through about mid-morning before it disappears to lots of sunshine, maybe a few clouds mixed in too. Let's take a look at our camera this morning down on I-75 at London. We're seeing some of that there, and actually some of it closer to the ground too, so we're keeping an eye on that for you this morning. Be careful if you run into any areas where there is fog. 250s out there, Clintwood at 58, Wise at 59, 67 Jackson, anywhere else between, let's say 61 and 65 for the most part out there this morning. Dew points, 50s and 60s out there, not too bad yet, but already starting to climb there, and we'll climb even further as we get into the afternoon hours. 87 a daytime high, straight chance for a passing shower storm can't be ruled out, but mainly sunny skies. A mild night too, as temperatures only get down about 66 overnight as clouds start to increase just a little bit. Keaton?
Thank you, Brandon. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife is investigating a death in Knott County. The Knott County coroner was called to Carr Creek Lake Wednesday evening. He suspects the man, now identified as 58-year-old David M. Chadwell Jr. of London, drowned. But officers say it could be a couple of months before they can determine a definitive cause of death.
Since COVID has happened, I've seen them go out to 6 months now by the time the medical examiners can get their reports in and toxicology reports come back. So anywhere from a month to 6 months before we actually close the case.
If you're out on the water, officials urge you to take a friend and to always wear a life jacket. A former educator charged with child sex crimes appeared in court on Thursday. April Bradford, the assistant principal at South Foyt Elementary School, faces 19 charges, including unlawful transaction with a minor and sodomy. She was arrested back in June but posted bond 2 days later. Yesterday, she pleaded not guilty.
Ms. Bradford, I want to accept your not guilty plea. I'm going to set this matter for October the 20th, 2022 at 9 a.m.
Judge Johnny Ray Harris has ordered her not to contact the two alleged victims, including on social media. She also has to stay at least 1,000 feet away from them. An investigation into the alleged crimes began back in January. Superintendent of Floyd County Schools Anna Shepard says Bradford was suspended immediately once the district learned about the investigation and is not allowed on any school district property. Madison County man is facing a bevy of charges after leading police on a chase that involved neither a car or a highway. Police say they tried to question Jared Werrell at a nearby gas station, but he took off on his tractor, almost running over an officer. They say he also almost ran over several people on a bike and scared a 12-year-old playing golf. He was eventually arrested at a golf course. A man who witnessed the chase had this to say about the situation.
A crazy sight, a tractor being chased by police on the walking trail behind my house here. All I could think was I need to get myself out of the way. I need to get my son out of the way.
Werrell is facing 8 different charges, including wanton endangerment, resisting arrest, and criminal mischief. In Clay County, a man is in custody for illegally cutting down trees. Clay County deputies say 27-year-old Timothy Rodriguez was arrested on private property while they say he was cutting down someone's trees. He's charged with theft, criminal trespassing, and menacing. He was taken to the Clay County Detention Center. After floodwaters poured through southwestern Virginia earlier this week, first responders in Buchanan County are working to clean up, still navigating the devastation the waters left behind. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about those efforts and how you can help.
This was a monumental search effort, a lot of area that we had to cover.
Hundreds of homes and buildings covering at least a 30-mile stretch ravaged by floodwaters.
We walk into it as a worst case scenario. We plan for the worst, we hope for the best, and once again, that's been the case.
As first responders worked Wednesday and Thursday to rescue and reassure, it was the collaboration of dedicated agencies that they say made all the difference.
We are happy to report that 0 people are unaccounted for in the impact area.
With stories of dozens of families that spent hours disconnected, dreading the worst as homes were swept away and roads washed out.
2 kids that were at home and parents were away because of work, and so had to make contact with the parents, let them know that they were okay. And then it was hours before we were able to get them back to the shelter and get them reunited. But that was a typical scenario for what we saw with most of these.
Though no major injuries or deaths were reported as day 1 turned into day 2, the days to come will be full of work and worry as communities try to dry out and stand up.
It's a total devastation. The frequency of these events is becoming unnatural.
Some say the flooding is just too much for the families, hoping to see more help come in for individual assistance, something that has not always been available in similar situations in the past.
I don't even know what to say anymore. It's one of those things like we just need help. Private individuals, the state will not come and clean my grandfather or my father-in-law's property.
As neighboring communities around the region work to bring in donations.
These people don't ask for help, but they need help. These are strong people.
Helping one another rise as the waters recede. In Buchanan County, Virginia, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say work is underway to assess all the damage, which will help in the pleas for federal assistance in the weeks to come. And they hope agencies will see that the need is real. Remote Area Medical needs volunteers for an upcoming clinic in Buchanan County. RAM officials say they need health professionals and general support staff volunteers for a free medical pop-up clinic on October 1st and 2nd. The clinic will be held at Riverview Elementary Middle School in Grundy. RAM also needs general support volunteers to set up and take down and overnight parking staff to greet patients. For more information, you can call the number you see on your screen. You can also find a link on how you can help on our website. A drop-off location has also been set up at the Richlands Police Department to help those impacted by the flooding. Officials said clothing and water are not being accepted right now, but they are accepting the items listed. The donated items will be taken to Twin Valley Elementary School, where you can also have your donations delivered. The address is at the top of your screen. And in Pike County, Jones Oil and the city of Pikeville are setting up a trailer for donations, including water, at Fire Station Number 1 on Chloe Road. The trailer will be open from Saturday until Monday, July 18th, from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. The last surviving World War II Medal of Honor recipient, Herschel Woody Williams, lied in honor at the U.S. Capitol yesterday. He died last month in a Wade County, West Virginia VA center, which bears his name. The medal, awarded by President Harry Truman, was for his heroic efforts in Iwo Jima. He used a flamethrower to attack Japanese troops as U.S. forces came under heavy machine gun fire. Even after 2 decades as a Marine, Williams continued helping fellow veterans, launching a foundation to support Gold Star families.
He made giving back a lifelong mission, giving back to his brothers in arms, giving back to generations of servicemen and women.
With Woody's passing, we have lost a deeply selfless American and a vital link to our nation's greatest generation.
Woody's wish to lie in honor at the Capitol was not solely for him, but for other World War II veterans. He was 98 years old. The Levitt Amp Music Series kicked off yet another night of music in Whitesburg Thursday evening, starting at 5 p.m. The Whitesburg Farmers Market set up and welcomed music fans in with healthy food and plenty of fun. Whitesburg Levitt Amp Music Series producer Steve Ruth says the event is all about nourishing the body, mind, and soul.
We say we provide nourishment for the body and for the soul. Of course, the farmers market provides nourishment for the body. Good live music and getting together with your community provides nourishment for your soul. And that's our mission, and hopefully we make it happen.
Event coordinators say Thursday night's act, Sista La La, was one of the communities was very excited for.
Well, the forecast this morning here about 641, we are looking at a fairly nice looking high knob camera over at UVA-Wise. 61 over there right now, 58 just up the road in Clintwood. So Wise is back up a couple of degrees from just a few minutes ago. 67 on the other end there in Jackson, anywhere between 63 and 65 once again. Hazard briefly dropped to 61, but they're back up there. 62 out in Irvin, another cool spot this morning. Breakfast forecast should be a fairly nice day as temperatures start off in the mid-60s in most locations and heading into the upper 80s a little bit later on. Sunshine for most part after that fog lifts. We could see a stray chance for a passing shower or storm, though, in the heat of the afternoon. Keaton?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. As the number of monkeypox cases continues to climb here in the U.S., frustration begins to grow about the low supply of vaccines.